thanks for joining us again. I'm Tom, and today I am at Caerphilly Castle. Now I know in the last video we were at Caerphilly Castle as well, but at the moment with the COVID situation we are under a local lockdown, which means travelling just isn't an option for us at the moment. And pretty much the plan over the next couple of weeks or the next couple of videos is that we're going to be targeting this venue because it's pretty much the best that we've got at the moment. Last night I did my first night under the Night Syndicate, someone I waited for a couple of years, and yeah, it was quite successful. I had a fish last night just before 9 o'clock, which was a 15-pound mirror. Gorgeous fish as well, really good sort of autumn colours on it, proper golden. Didn't get any footage of that one unfortunately because it was absolutely hammering down last night and it was way too dark. It was just a nightmare with the cameras. But I do have a photo of it which I'll post later on in the video. Also, after that then the weather changed a little bit. It was quite bad last night, but then it went quiet, and into this morning now the wind has really picked up, and yeah, it's been hammering down all morning, and that's set in now for the next 5 or 6 days. So filming is going to be minimal on this trip, unfortunately. This morning, however, I was woken up quite early. Well, I say early. It was still dark, about 10 to 7, with an absolutely melting run. You know, my rod sort of skipped forward on the alarm, smashed into the alarm actually, the reel, and picked it up, sort of played the fish for about 20 seconds, then it weeded me up. Just couldn't get it to move. Eventually decided, right, I'm going to put the rod down, leave it on a loose clutch. Totally slack line. Did that for around about 10-15 minutes, and then I got a little bit impatient, so ended up picking the rod up and walking sort of left and right on the bank, and eventually got the fish to move. And I actually got him in as well, which was a great result. Something I didn't expect. I got quite soft rods on this trip, my 10-foot 3-pound rods. But this time, patience paid off. And yeah, I got the fish in. It's a 20-pound plus mirror. We haven't weighed it yet, but it's easily 20 pound. One of the original fish from in here as well, I think. And yeah, we've got about 20 minutes, maybe half hour now, leaving the fish in the sling just until it gets light enough to do a little bit with that. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you a short clip of a session that Nick and I did on the river. Nick was filming, I was fishing. It's only a short clip. We didn't have a lot of fish, but the ones we had were really nice. So yeah, I'll leave that with you now, and I'll get back to you with the fish. there we go, fish number 2. Like I said, unfortunately didn't get any footage of the one last night, but it was a lot smaller than this one. This went 22.8 £, which is a very good fish for this lake. Unbelievably, there's 43 known 20s in here, caught on a very simple method, just a singles approach. There's been a lot of bait going in here the last couple of weeks, but it hasn't been fishing very well. We've had the lake de-weeded, which obviously stirred up the bottom and kind of turned the fish off. He did the same last year as well. But fortunately for me, I've come over, done my first night on the Night Syndicate, resulting in this fish and the one last night. So, happy days. Unfortunately, we've had no more fish. It's been very, very quiet. Now, this place, as I said earlier on again, hasn't been fishing very well lately, and the only fish that have been coming out have come out sort of early hours in the morning or late in the night, which is obviously what happened to me as well. Unfortunately, again, we are going to have to pack up now. We're going to have to shoot off. We're just soaked right through. It's pretty pointless fishing in the day, and I do have things to do today, so I'm going to be leaving. But while I'm packing up, same as earlier on, I've got a little bit of footage from a session I did a couple of weeks back, resulting in a few fish sort of in the morning, a very short morning session consisting of like 4 hours. I will say before I show the footage that the last fish I was going to show, you'll notice it's not in the footage, and that's because when I brought the fish in, it was so hectic. I had a couple of fish in slings at the same time and didn't really get a chance to look at the fish. It was a case of unhook it, put it in a sling, leave it there, get some shots done of the fish I already had before that, and sort of on a conveyor belt sort them out in a line. So I did that, got to the last fish, and then realised that it was actually tethered to an old rig. Now, I did catch the fish, I did hook it in the mouth, but there was an old rig tethered to it, sort of it cut from his throat down to his belly a little bit. It wasn't really bad, but it was like an old cut and wasn't healing very well, so did the right thing, just put some carp on the fish and put it back as soon as I could. It got caught again about 2 weeks ago by one of the youngsters in here, which is great. So yeah, anyway, going to show you that footage now. I'm going to get packed up and I'll see you on the next one. Right, so here we are, popped down to Caerphilly Castle this morning. Only got a couple of hours today, not long at all, about 3 or 4 hours. Come over to the South Lake, found a couple of fish sort of on the surface when we got here really early this morning. And this is fish number 2. Gonna get this one slipped back, get the other one out, and hopefully we've got some time for some more. Oh, son. This one, just over £22, well, £22.5, again taken on the chod. This was actually the first fish that we had this morning, and just as I was starting to pick this fish up on the first effort to do this, my rod screamed off again, and I got another one in the sling. Son. The rod's gone again. Not the biggest fish, but have a look at that. Again, taken on chod. Unbelievably, as I was trying to do this for the first time, the rod screamed off again, resulting in another fish. So that's 4 now for this morning. The other one's waiting in the sling for his photos. So yeah, we get this one photoed up, get it weighed, get it back, and then get the next one out. Hi guys, as you can see, I am now home and dry. It was an absolute nightmare with the weather on this last session. Conditions were far from ideal for the videography, but we made do with what we had. Unfortunately, this morning it was very, very misty, which then turned into very windy and then very wet with the rain. So everything was against us really in terms of videography, but we got the clip done regardless. Once again, just like to say thank you for joining us. It really does mean a lot. If you could hit the like button, leave us a comment, and also hit that subscribe button. You're going to keep up to date with our regular content, and we will see you again soon.